Hello everyone, so I want to show you today how to use a piece of online software called TeacherMade. Now TeacherMade is really helpful. It allows you to take PDF worksheets and turn them into interactive digital activities, which you can then send out to pupils. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go to teachermade.com, as you can see up the top here, and you need to sign up and create an account. Now to do this, you want to use your school email account when you go to sign up and create the account. And once you've created the account, you will then be able to start creating your own worksheets. So I've got an example here of a White Rose Maths worksheet. This is a PDF worksheet. As you can see, there's a variety of different types of questions for the pupils, and most of them involve images in some form or another. This is a worksheet looking at angles. So the problem at the moment with that White Rose Maths worksheet is that the only way I can share it with pupils is to actually print it out, or to ask them to print it out and complete it using a pen or pencil. What TeacherMade allows you to do is to take that worksheet and turn it into a digital worksheet. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a worksheet, and I'm going to call this one Angles 5. And I can add a description in here, but I don't have to. The most important section is here. I need to drag and drop the file here, or I need to click to select it from my computer. So I've found the file on my computer, and what it's doing now is it is adding it to TeacherMade. Now, the PDF that I had originally has 2 pages. You can choose PDFs of up to 12 pages. If you don't want to use all the pages of the PDF, you can just click on the pages you don't want to use. When there is a red line around them, it means they are going to be used. When there is not a red line around them, it means they're not going to be included. And I'm now going to click on Create My Worksheet. So what happens now is TeacherMade is going to bring in that PDF for me to start working upon. Now, obviously, at the moment, I can see the whole PDF that is at quite a distance. So I have got a zoom in and a zoom out control here. I'm going to zoom in because it means that I can work more accurately on the screen. So on this worksheet, I'm looking at the first question, and it's asking me a right angle is what number of degrees. Now I know that obviously the correct answer is up here within the boxes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and select the type of answer that I want to put onto the worksheet from the toolbar at the top here. And you can see you've got a range of different types of question type up here. I'm going to select this one, which gives me the short answer box, because I can then draw that short answer over the top of the box on the PDF. Now you can see I can resize that box to however big it needs, but it has a question mark in it because it knows there should be a correct answer to this question. And when I click on Edit Short Answer, I can then type in what the correct answer is. I can choose the points that I'm going to assign for this question. You'll notice as well that you have the option of saying that answers must match the case if you're using upper or lower case, or not. And then I can save the changes, and now that is set up correctly. Now, if I want to test that, because obviously I can see the box with the 90 in here, and I want to see what the pupils are going to see, I'm able to go into View, and I can click Preview on here. And if I click Preview, it is going to show me exactly what that worksheet is going to look like for the pupils. And I can zoom in, and I can see that, yes, here is the text box that I can go in and I can type in the correct answer to. So that is what the pupils are going to see. But obviously I need to go through and I need to fill in the rest of the questions on this particular worksheet. Now I'm not going to do these ones here now, because you would do these ones in the same way as the one I've just shown you. I want to move down to where we've got a matching activity here. So match the angles to the labels. Now this obviously is the sort of question that is quite difficult to then transfer to something like a Google form. These first questions you perhaps could do on a Google form, but a matching activity is much harder. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select from the toolbar, and I'm going to choose the matching activity tool. And what I need to do is I need to tell TeacherMade where are the matching activity boxes. So again, I draw across the first one. I can resize this to make sure that it's really accurate and it really covers the whole of that angle box there. But then in terms of saving time, because it's going to be quite time consuming to draw all of those boxes, I can go to Control and I can press D, and it is going to make duplicate boxes for me. Now, obviously, I need 5 of these, so I'm going to go in there, I'm going to create 5 boxes, and then I'm able to just go and drag and drop these boxes over where they need to go on my PDF. So I'm just dragging those in on here like so. So I now have my matching boxes, and those are ready to go. And again, I can go in and I can tweak them slightly if I want them to match exactly, to look as neat as possible for the pupils. Then what I need to do is I obviously need to tell TeacherMade what the correct answers are. And this again is where you're going to use the Shift key. So I can highlight one of my answers. I press and hold down the Shift key. I go to the correct answer and I click, and you'll see it draws a line for me that matches those 2 boxes together. So again, I'm going to go through here. I'm going to click up the top. That is going to match that for me. And again, down here at the bottom, and I'm going to click. And again, that is going to give me the correct answer. Now, again, I'm able to go in and actually see what this is going to look like from the pupil's perspective when they complete my worksheet. So again, I'm going to go up to View. I'm going to go to Preview. And what's really useful about the worksheet, and again, I'm going to zoom in just to show you more closely, is that what happens for the pupils when they go to complete this activity is they don't need to actually go up to the top and select a pen to do this. If they hover the cursor across your worksheet, you'll see a pen automatically appears, and they can then go in and they can draw the answers. Now, I know what these are, so I'm going to get all of these correct, but you'll see how quick and easy that is for pupils to actually complete your sheet. And what that will do is when they go to check my answers, it will tell them that these are all correct. If they'd got any of these wrong, it would show them what the correct matching should have been. So the final question on my worksheet is an activity where the pupils are supposed to go in and tick all of the acute angles out of a choice of 5. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use another one of the tools from the toolbar up the top. And what I'm going to use this time is I'm going to use the checkboxes option, because there is more than one correct answer for question 4. And checkboxes means that I can choose more than one answer. If I wanted to just choose one correct answer, I'd be using multiple choice, but I'm going to use checkboxes. And when I click on the checkboxes box, you'll notice that it gives me a number of options. Now, I have got 5 different angles down there with question 4, so I need to choose the 5 choices box. And what this then asks me to do is to draw in here where the checkboxes are going to go. Now you can see it takes a little bit of work to sort of align these up exactly. You might need to make them larger or smaller like so, but you can move these around to match up as well as possible to your different angles on here. And then again, the same thing is I need to tell the program which are the correct answers. So these are acute angles, so it's that one there, and it is that one there are the correct answers. Another thing that's very helpful here is depending on where you are positioning your checkboxes on your worksheet. If you want to move where they are and you want to change this to a transparent background instead of an opaque one, you can click on transparent and it becomes see-through. And again, that might help you with where you position your particular checkboxes. There are other types of questions up here. Before I show you how to share your worksheet, I just want to mention the other types that are up here. So for example, you have got drop downs as an option you can add to your sheet. You have got an open answer that if you're doing a very heavily text-based answer, you don't need to sort of say what is the correct or incorrect answer because you're going to mark that later. We've already looked at matching. Also over here, you have got true or false or yes or no style answers. If you wanted to add one of those onto your worksheet, you select the type of answer it is. Again, you draw it on like so, and you tell it which is the correct answer. I'm not going to use one of these here, but I'm going to use this to show you how you delete something that you put on your worksheet that you don't want anymore. You need to make sure that the object is highlighted like it is here with the blue boxes outside of it, and then you go to Edit and you go to Delete, and that is going to remove that from your worksheet. I mentioned briefly about multiple choice, which is up here. You also have hotspots. This is really useful if you're doing an exercise that, for example, requires a geography map and you want pupils to identify which is a correct location on a map. You also have the chance to choose maths-based answers. This will give you things like fractions, for example, mixed numbers, algebraic expressions will come up on there. And the final tools over here allow you to add something else to the worksheet. If you need a standalone text box that is not actually an answer, if you wanted to give the pupils some guidance, you'd use that. And you can also insert images on there as well, and colour block and use an eraser. That is more for if you were starting a worksheet yourself from scratch rather than perhaps using one as we've done here as an existing worksheet. So once I've created my worksheet, and I realise I've left some questions here, but for the purposes of now, when you've finished your worksheet, you need to go to File and you need to go to Close, because this actually saves your worksheet. You'll see there isn't a file save anywhere, but File Close will save your worksheet. It will take me back to my Create Worksheet tab, and now it's going to say, right, do I want to take this worksheet and actually turn this into an assignment? Because at the moment, nobody is shared in on my worksheet. No one can actually complete it. So yes, I do want to create an assignment with this. You see, I can preview the worksheet again if I want to at this point. I am going to click on Create an Assignment. It's really important that to be GDPR compliant, that we make sure that this is the option that is selected. So students sign in, they need to use a Google account to access your worksheet. Now you notice there's some choices there for you. You can say, yes, I do want the students to see their score when they submit their work, so they get their answer immediately. I do want them to see, for example, the correct answers, so they see their own score and the correct answers. You can choose whatever you like from there. You can also see how the score is going to be displayed. So for example, you can have a range of options here, including points earned, points possible, the percentage score, and again, you can choose whichever one of those is correct for you. And down here, I'm now going to click on the Create Assignment tab. And what it's going to do for me, how I share this with my pupils, is very straightforward. It's going to generate a URL for me. So in the same way that you would normally share a Google form, in the same way, this is my URL. So I can now copy that URL and I can share it with pupils. I can add it directly to Google Classroom. I can share to Google Classroom this way, but it means that I've got a way of easily sharing that particular assignment now. Now, I've still got the option over here under Actions. If I change my mind and I want to go in and edit the assignment, I can do that. I'm only going to be able to do that until a pupil actually completes that assignment. From that point on, I'm not then going to be able to edit it. But you'll see I've got the option here as well that the scores that come in for this assignment, I can export to CSV. I can set the submissions as completed, or I can delete the assignment completely. And what I want to do here is I just want to show you briefly what it looks like when you do get responses starting to come in on your worksheet. I haven't got any completed answers on this one yet, so I'm going to go back to my overall worksheets. I am going to go on to my Angles 4 worksheet that I did earlier today that, as I can see, has been assigned to pupils, and you can see here I have got one completion, and if I click on here I can see which student has completed the work. I can see the score that they got on the worksheet when it was actually submitted, and I can also click on the individual pupil's name, and I can see the worksheet. I can see their answers. I can see what they got correct. If they've got anything incorrect, it would tell me what they've got incorrect. And you'll notice up here as well that I have an option to comment on the work overall, and to then return that comment back to the student on here. So again, that is a really, really useful way to give some additional feedback to the students. Remember that if you've said that they can see their scores, they will also know already what score they got and where the incorrect answers were. Now, obviously, the one other thing you might want to do if you're creating these within departments is you might want to share your worksheets with other members of staff within your department. And to do that, you go through to, you select a worksheet, you click on the three dots here, and you have got the option to share. You'll also notice that you've got the option to make a copy. If you wanted to make another copy for yourself. But sharing, this is not to be confused with how you are going to share a worksheet with students. This is how you're going to share a worksheet with another member of staff. And you'll see that sharing is normally disabled on your worksheets. You need to change that to enabled. And what that will then do is it will give you a link that you can copy and you can share with your colleagues. They can then make their own copy of your worksheet into their own account and make changes to it. But as it says up here, your original worksheet is not going to be changed or edited by another user. And that's really important to know. And that is a quick overview of how you use TeacherMade.